Welcome back to Marbella Now. My name is Nicole King.
Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, 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 it's a brand new day. Halfway twisted.
Every week, CIT Marbella sends us one of their members so we get to see who's in the community. And I'm delighted that this week it's the turn of the lovely Johanna from Zoco Home. I've never met her before, which is quite lovely actually to see how many new and different people we have in our city. Johanna, welcome to Marbella Now.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Zoco Home I love the name. It's like a very strong name, Zoco Home. Does it mean anything, Zoco Home, or where did you get the name from?
Yeah, it actually means something. So we started 11 years ago, the company, and we started to import from Morocco. I was in love with Moroccan handicraft, and that's where the name came from. So it's like a souk, and choco means that. So it's a market, and then we connect it with the home. So you have a...
Your home market?
Yes.
And where were you from originally? Where's your home? Your original
my home was in Finland 12 years ago, and now it's here.
And what made you make the decision to come to Spain?
The weather, yeah.
I'm surprised actually. I was with a young Finnish gentleman last night at the Costa Press Club dinner, and there are people from Finland, but not as many as other nationalities. Do you find that there's a lot of Finnish? Obviously you must know in your own community.
Yeah, and there is a lot of Finnish people living in Fuengirola more than here in Marbella.
And do you tend to mix with the Finnish people, or you do an international mix?
Most of my friends are international, yeah. So I don't mix so much with Finnish. Of course, I have my Finnish friends also, but not so many different nationalities. I think it's also the richness of living here.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just get to meet so many different people and see how they do it.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about Zoco Home. What's the philosophy? What can we expect apart from this Moroccan influence?
Yes, so the philosophy why I started the business, that I was so in love with the handicraft work, that there is still people who actually make so pretty things by hand, and that what got me into this business. So I realized later on, after we have started already the business, that my father actually imported when I was young, like 8 years old, from Mexico, handmade products and to Finland, and I actually realized that I have dreamed about those products all my life, and then somehow I found myself in this business.
It's curious, isn't it, how without realizing it when we're young, the influences and the abilities we absorb from our parents.
Yes.
We don't think at the time. That used to drive me crazy, my dad talking business on the phone all the time when you're trying to watch the television. But now I realize I learned a lot of the ways of doing things, and as you say, the things that you can do. So what kind of articles do you have in Zoco Home?
So nowadays we import from different countries, mainly from Indonesia, and we can custom made whatever comes in my mind. So our products always change, we get new things. We also import from different parts of Africa, where they do handicraft work, from India, from anywhere that it's still that talent exists.
And how do you get yourself, your products, into the world? Is it just a shop? Do you work with different interior designers and real estate? How have you made your little world work?
We are not picky with our clients. We work with everybody. We work with hospitality, with real estate, with other designers. We have our own, but we work with others as well.
And the general public, can we just buy online, or do you actually have a shop that we can go to?
We have 2 shops.
Oh, wow.
So we have in Mijas and also in Marbella in Puerto Banus.
Wow. So you're doing very nicely.
Yes, yes.
Well, that's wonderful. Yeah. Did you open them like one after the other? Did you open them at the same time, or has it just been a general, like a growth into this new expansion?
So 11 years we started, and we opened the online shop, and we started to sell worldwide. About 8 years ago, we found this lovely place in Mijas, and we opened a shop there. Afterwards, we have expanded, and then about 2 months ago, we opened in Puerto Banus. And now also a few weeks ago, we opened a cafeteria inside the shop, that you can enjoy lovely breakfast and lunch, and it's also part of the experience that we want to give to our clients.
What a lovely idea. Whereabouts in Puerto Banus are you?
So it's just when you come from the exit from A7 up to Puerto Banus, and you can see it there. Many people recognize it from Tino and also from Dreamers that has been years there.
Okay, so we know where you are now. We've got you located.
Yes.
Are you happy with the experience? It's very different being in Puerto Banus. It's a different public. It's like a world unto itself.
Yeah, we are super excited. We actually looked for the place like 5 years. And when we found this beautiful logo, we were like in love. This is the one that we have been looking for. So we have parking, and we have amazing high ceiling, and we renovated the place so it looks totally like us. So the renovation took 4 months, and now we are super proud about it.
I'm very proud of you, and I'm very happy for you.
Thank
you
you
can
so
see that you
much.
really love what you do.
Yes.
And obviously you do it well, and doing very well, which is very nice. So go check out Puerto Banus if you want to see Zoco home, one that's close to us here in Marbella. But I'm sure the Mijas shop is also absolutely lovely, and online.
Yes.
Don't miss out. So,
Yes, please,
well
welcome.
done. Really
Welcome.
lovely to meet you, Johanna.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and thank you to CIT Marbella. It's a business networking association, and they handle little tiny companies to major big companies, and lovely Johanna seems to be going right up towards that major big company. So if you want to get help in establishing yourself and getting your word out there, do contact CIT Marbella and find out more information. Thank you, Johanna.
Thank you so much.
Hi guys, Ross here from Hogan Stand. Proud to be a member of the Zero Hero campaign, and we recommend everybody. Nobody drives drinking. Everybody who drives a car doesn't have any alcohol in their system, and we're proud to sponsor the Zero Hero program.
You've been out of shape and you feel like you've missed it. You dropped out the
Zero Hero.
Welcome to Picú Banus. Zero Hero, welcome to Bel Mare.
hey, hey, it's a brand new hey, hey.
I'm delighted to welcome back to the programme Paula Chinchilla. She's a nurse and specialises in palliative care and long-term illness care at your home. Having been through this with my dad when he had his diabetes, 2 leg amputations, basically he couldn't do anything without the help of a nurse, and finding one, and a good one, is very difficult. We were very lucky in the end with the person that we found, but we were just talking with Johanna, my previous guest, and she also went through the same a year ago, not knowing what to do. She needed help with her father, which is why it's very special for me that Paula's back and that we do keep your name out there and people know that the family support group exists, that you and your sister Monica exist, and you do this from the passion of your heart. For those who haven't seen you on the show before, Paula, why did you and Monica start the family support group? Why? I mean, you're a nurse, but why get into something so intense as death and long-term illness?
I study biology, so my sister studied law. But in 2005, my mother died by cancer. It was terrible. Then I decided to start with nursing, study nursing at college. And we began in 2007 to starting with family support group in Levantes, Costa. We've been working there for 17 years. We keep on doing, and now we are in Costa del Sol.
Well, we're delighted because, as I say, from personal experience and now being with the television, I know how many calls and questions and how difficult it is for people to get help. So it's really nice that Family Support Group is there. Explain a little bit what support you offer, the range of services that you can help with.
Well, we support since an hour a day, 24 hours a day when you have to pass away. What we want to make a difference, we are not carers, we are nurses and doctors. Why I say that? Because sometimes the carers, they don't study for it. They don't know what can happen. And sometimes someone get more illness for this question. In another hand, I know that talk about pass away is not very easy for anyone, but we are getting older, all of us. We're gonna have this situation. And it's very interesting that you talk with your family about if something happens, what you want. You want to be in a hospital, you want to be in a hospice, or you want to be at home. If it's your last choice, we are here 24 hours for you.
This, I think, is a very delicate but important point that you've brought up. Discussing before it gets to the point of you not being able to make decisions, when that moment comes, if it comes, of needing help or being hospitalized, what you want to do.
Yes.
Because what I hear the most of is people being in hospital, wanting to go home.
Of course.
And who doesn't want to go home? If you're going to die anyway, the last thing you want to be is in hospital. You want to be at home with your things. And I think for me that is the biggest aspect, that if you're not well, just to get better, you're better off at home. Even just to enjoy the maximum of ability.
I personally think that the best way is to pass away at home. Why? Because you are with all your family around. We respect all your rules. I mean, it's your house. We're getting to your house. We are like a hospital in your house, but we don't. We want to respect your rules, to your times. That you have time for say goodbye to your family, and we cannot change the end, but we can make it a better plan.
You also, as your own experience, you're Spanish, you speak fluent Spanish,
Yeah.
but even with your experiences, the medical system and is very challenging in Spain. It's very reverential. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the biggest differences I noticed from, say, the UK here, is a doctor here isn't there to explain to you. They're very much like, this is what I say, this is what you do, and they're not open to people asking questions. And yet, because of the system, the way it is, one department doesn't talk to the other, it's all very separate, that you need to ask questions.
Of course.
So even to hospital visits and doctor's visits, you guys also accompany to make sure that you can be, let's say, we'd be too embarrassed to ask, whereas you just going, what do you mean? Explain this, how are you doing?
That's why we are not just nurses. We have psychology, we have especially oncologists or in another illness, because it's not just cancer. And we also work with 2 doctors from Malaga. They are specialists and they are coming to your house for resolve all your doubts.
When we were looking into things, and I know that what they had to spend in those days in relatively the family support group, if you're looking at being in a residency, for example, an old age care home, based on the average, say in Marbella, you could actually probably be at home having care and not necessarily be in a home. Now, not every family wants their ailing family around them and prepared to put them in a home. Yeah. But there are lots of people who, if that were possible, knowing that they can get the care they need at home, would prefer that. Because I find that once you're in a residency, they become very dependent. They seem to go downhill very quickly.
Oh, yes. Because you're mixed with a lot of different illness. So it makes you fall down, for sure. And you are in a front of TV with different illness around, with people that you don't know. One of the things important we do is we made a plan, a personal plan for the family. We talk with the family, we talk with the patient at home. And the nurses that you're going to have in front of you are the same, the first day until the end. We are not changing people because it's important that you have a connection with us. And also, if the doctor have to come, we call the doctor and the doctors arrive to your house. So I think it's very interesting.
I do too, and I like also the aspect of that if someone is in hospital, I know that when my granddaughter's in hospital, whatever, my daughter will stay, or vice versa, and you stay in the night. The Spanish system also, they will send you your food, but if you're not feeling hungry and don't eat, they will just then take the food away. Whereas if you have someone with you who's actually giving you the food, getting your hair washed, shaving people, because none of these things happen in a hospital. And I don't think people appreciate how alone you are if you're in hospital here, because the system relies largely on family, and especially in the international community that doesn't have that family infrastructure or the age to be able to sit in a chair all night in a hospital helping someone get to the toilet or get water or ask for help.
Well,
for me, that's a big one, because you also do that. You will stay at night in a hospital and all these type of things.
And we translate you and we bring you to the appointments, and if you need whatever you're gonna need, we can bring it to you. For example, last week I was with a woman. She has terminal cancer, and her husband, he was 86. It was horrible because they were totally lost. They don't know how to do. How a man with 86 going to wash a woman who's laid down in a bed? And she doesn't have more than 10 days. Nobody explained it. Nobody know it. She was like, oh, I don't have mouths. I have to sit down on the bed and explain it and talk with the daughters and say what it was going on and take the decision, and you have the choice and explain you everything.
It's amazing how much we don't understand. We're in a foreign country, foreign language, and when you get into the medical world, it really is. It's, as I say, I speak really good Spanish, but unless you get, you're like, I don't want to say like repetitive, you have to be really forceful.
Well,
so
Spanish
I'm never
system is not easy for Spanish, well, even for foreign people.
No, really. I remember when my dad passed away, literally, it was like 8 seconds after the machine stopped, they came in and asked me to sign things and do things, and it was like craziness. Having someone to help negotiate the situation undeniably is important.
Yes, I think so.
You must see terrible horrors like this. I know you spoke to me after you'd been to this visit last week and started sending me pictures and things. It's like, I can't. But it is to see people that are in such a state and don't know who to turn to. Well, if you're in that situation, of course, in Marbella, we're very lucky we have Cudeca for cancer palliative care, but they can't handle everything, and it's a charity. So having groups like the family support group that can be there to fill in is just fundamental. So if you need help, whether you long-term illness or you've broken a leg, whatever you need, if you need medical care, chronic illness, but you want to be at home, Paula's your girl. Thank you so much, Paula.
You're welcome. Well,
very, very, very delighted with your services. It's not an easy job, but it's definitely appreciated.
Thank you.
Hey, hey.
Hi, I'm Monica.
Hi, I'm Paula.
We are sisters, and we are here to talk to you because we are the founders of Family Support Group. This is a company that began many years ago when our mom died. It was something horrible for us because nobody can help us. And in this moment, we decided that no one who faces a terrible illness can be in the same process like us.
So that was the reason that we created Family Support Group. And we bring you the doctors, caregivers, and nurses to your own house for help you.
Our mom wanted to be at home, and we had problems with the healthcare system in Spain because you must talk with a lot of doctors, you must try to investigate many things and many information, and we were absolutely alone.
We can bring you all the medical service to your house.
We want to be your family support group.
No one needs to pass away in a hospital or in a hospice. You can be in your own house with your family and with all the dignity and treatment that you need for your family. Call us. We are here for you.
Hero, welcome to Sunday.
Zero Hero customers are welcome to restaurant Alameda in Obal Urban Hotel in Marbella.
I mentioned earlier that I was at the Costa Press Club at dinner last night, and guess where it was? It was at the Obal Urban Hotel, and sitting with me now is Cristobal Parra from the Obal Urban Hotel. How lovely to see you again.
Me too. Thank you for
We had
the invitation.
a lovely dinner. It was a really, really nice evening. We started off at the rooftop terrace, the 360 blue. Amazing. Love the new furniture, love the plants, love all the lights. You've really put a lot of effort into that space since I was last there.
Yeah, we try little by little to put more decoration there because it's a very big, huge space. And yes, now it looks much better than before. Yeah, that's right.
Before it was lovely because you literally do have a 360-degree view of Marbella. You look over the Alameda Park. You then get to see the whole of Marbella in a way very few of us have ever seen it. We were all like mesmerized just looking at the city below. The Obal Hotel is originally the San Cristobal, and it's been in Marbella. What year did the hotel open originally?
It was in 1961. My grandfather built it, you know, and with a few rooms, and then he did some refurbished, and now we have 110 rooms.
Amazing. And it's lovely that your third generation are all involved with the hotel. Each one of the family has your specific roles. I mean, it's organized beautifully. Your grandfather can really feel well proud, the whole family, of the achievements.
Yes, to achieve that we have to sign or to do a protocol, a family protocol. So that's why we have more organized and everything is like very clear in the third generation especially.
They say you should never work with family or friends, but it's nice to see that you've all anticipated potential issues and just set it out very contractually. I think it's very wise.
Yeah.
But that's probably why the hotel has survived, because it's been done con cabeza, it's been done with a lot of thought.
Exactly.
When I've been in Marbella, coming to Marbella since '65, and I do remember, for example, the first escalator in Marbella, because originally the hotel, you were in like a shopping centre and you had to go in, then you go up these escalators to what is now like in the restaurant, but now you've taken over the bottom part in the refurbishments. What a difference, isn't it? Like you're a real hotel now, you actually get in through the main door. And
I remember when I was a kid, we used to play with the escalator, going down and up all the time, and not only me, it was all Marbella doing that. And now we have the reception just there, it's on ground floor, much better, yeah.
The hotel is open, obviously, to everybody. So it's tourism, but at the same time, you have a lovely restaurant, the Alameda restaurant, very established, and that is open to the public at all times. And I imagine also the 360 degrees as well, everybody's welcome?
Exactly.
So just come in, and you've started, I heard yesterday actually, from Teva of Marine Well Communication, while we were sitting there at the dinner, that on Saturdays at 5, you're going to be doing live music on the terrace.
Exactly. We have every Saturday we have live music. Depending the Saturday, we have sometimes flamenco fusion or more international pop, rock. But every Saturday we have April and May. And in May we start with DJ sessions every Friday as well.
What time are the DJ sessions?
5:30, 6 o'clock.
So that kind of time every day just to get that, like that early evening to get it going?
Yeah, exactly. We call that in Spain el tardeo, just to have drinks there and have fun.
Lovely. It's a lovely concept. And if you've not been up to the 360 degrees blue, it's in the centre, literally the centre of Marbella, hotel that you wouldn't even notice that was there unless you're actually looking up for it. But once you're in it, the experience looking out of it is quite wonderful. The staff are delightful. I have to say that yesterday, the staff are all sweet, it's nice. Even though you've just got, is it a 4-star rating?
4-star, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I would think I was there the day that you were going to get your little certificate and everything.
Yeah.
I know, it must make you all feel very proud.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't easy to achieve the 4-star. You know, we have to do many things that we didn't do before as a 3-star.
Such as what? What are the challenges you had?
The size of the rooms, for example, the services, the outlets we have to... Every single item give you points, so at the end you have to reach certain points and then you get the 4-star. Some of them are obligatory and some of them not.
Well, I mean, you rightly feel proud because it has been quite an achievement. One of the other things that I love, because I live a very Spanish life. I got to Marbella in 89, 90, and no one spoke English, everything was very Spanish. I used to go for lunch in the Siete Puertas, para mi cocido, and enjoyed Spain. I think one of the nicest things about the Alameda restaurant is that you're also doing like typical culinary Spanish experiences. And I think this is a great opportunity for us foreigners to actually experience Spain, which is not as easy in Marbella as it used to be. No, I mean, in the old days it was much easier, but now everything's so international that I love that you do the cocido days and you're doing different types of, or the big steaks. And tell us a bit about your gastronomic experiences.
Yeah, for example, from Monday to Friday we have the daily menu for only 18 euros to choose between starter, main dish and dessert. And with the typical traditional Spanish food, Mediterranean food. And every day we have to, we try to put cuchara dish.
Some kind of soup dish, which is a very Spanish thing as well.
Yeah, exactly. For example, yesterday we had the lentils, and every day we have a different one. And besides of that, we have Las Jornadas, the second edition of the Chuleta Fest. We had the first edition, it was a totally success. And the 4th of May, we have the second edition. On the rooftop, we have the Chuleta Fest. It's all about meat.
If so chuletas is like those big steaks, right?
Yeah,
and the
exactly.
Big T-bones and things like
exactly.
that.
With 2 barbecues we have there. And in May, at the end of May, we have the Chivo Lechal, the 10th edition. We had that tradition in San Cristobal. So this year is the 10th edition of the little goat. I don't know exactly the name. The Chivo Lechal is in Spanish. Yeah, from the 21st until the 25th of May. That's the
little goat experience.
Exactly.
The rooftop's also ideal for doing parties. I saw there was a big birthday party when we arrived to the hotel. So and the terrace is that big that you had room for this huge birthday party in one corner, then all of the press club in the other corner, so you really do have a lot of space. Do you also do weddings?
We do weddings, birthdays, retirements, bautizos, bautism, comuniones.
Yeah, and I think also it'd be nice for a kids' party if you let them, just because they have all that safe space to run around. I mean, do you know when you're doing a kids' party, having that enclosure that's big enough for them to get their energy out, but at the same time, I thought that was it was quite lovely. The terrace is quite spectacular.
Yeah, we can do a lot of things. That's a very big space, and we have a lot of demand to celebrate things. So
Did you grow up in Marbella, Cristobal?
Yeah, I was born here. Yeah.
And have you always been here? You studied here, or?
I studied in Granada. Then I moved to UK to improve my English. Then to France to learn French, and work as well, and to Australia as well.
Very nice. What did you prefer out of all of them? What was the most different, the most enlightening for you?
To have kids, to have a family, Marbella is is super. So every place has something, but Marbella, to live here and grow up with your family, with your kids, I think is amazing.
I think you're right. I agree 1,000,000%. It's also a good place to have your kids and your grandkids, which I've started on that too, because when I think back, we came originally with my grandparents and my parents and me, and now it's my children and my children's children. So there are 5 generations of Giri Marbella. So it's really, it's quite lovely. It's a great place to live.
Yeah, that's true.
Cristobal also and the Obal Urban Hotel are Zero Hero partners. Normally I've got the little triangle here that says Obal on it. However, I gave them all to Cristobal yesterday to put on the tables of the restaurant. But the Obal Urban Hotel not only has a great restaurant, rooftop terrace, great place to stay or just to go and hang out, they're also Zero Hero venue, which means if you go with people who are drinking and you're the designated driver, you don't pay for your soft drinks. Now that could be maybe one soft drink. It's up to how much, I suppose, the others spend and what they will give you. But I think it's really nice that you are community. You basically started the community in Marbella, that you're joining in the initiative. I'm very grateful. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Nicole. Thank you for inviting me.
My absolute pleasure. Que sean muchas veces. Whenever you've got something new, come on back.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Obal Urban Hotel, super cool, in the heart of Marbella. Please do check it out.
Hey, hey.
Zero Hero, welcome to the sister restaurant.
It's been way too long since Carol Woolnoth has been on Marbella. Now, Carol is the president of Age Concern Marbella San Pedro, one of those associations I've been so involved with since the very beginning when they decided to open up a local fraction of the Age Concern group. I remember in the United Nationalities of Marbella Summit, we were all there in 2016. You get your licenses, and now, what is it, 3 years you've been president now?
This is the 3rd year.
Congratulations.
Yes.
As you know, I fought vigorously for you to be the person to take over after Tom, because there were talks of other options and they weren't bad. It's just that Carol's so good.
Oh, well.
But you are. It's like you know what you're doing, you know what people need, you understand the challenges of the internationality of the issues in Spain with foreigners.
Yes, well, I'm passionate about what I do. I think there's a real need for us in Marbella. That I couldn't believe that there'd never been a branch of Age Concern for Marbella and San Pedro. Of course, there's one in Fuengirola and there's one in Estepona, but this is such an important part of coastal life that it was vital, I thought, that we have a presence here. And of course, I lost my mother in 2012, so I don't have a mum to look after. So now I can look after other people's mothers, or people who are volunteers with us do, yeah.
You cover a lot of different aspects. It's not just information to give out to other people. You also do classes. You've got a base now in San Pedro.
Yeah, we've got a social and activity centre in San Pedro. We have activities going on there. On a Monday morning, we have a help desk from 11 till 1, and Sandra Sprawson, who sits with me, because my hearing, as you know, is not good at all. We answer people's questions. It can be about anything, how to renew your driving license, or this letter that they've just got in the post from the Spanish authorities, they don't understand what it is, anything at all. How to get an attendance allowance if you need help with that. And then after that, we have an hour of chair yoga, which is lovely. It's very good at keeping people supple and mobile. It's not quite as vigorous as our chair exercises on a Tuesday morning, where they're doing all kinds of punching and goodness knows what. But that's also very good, and that's run by a lady who is a respiratory physiotherapist. So if
Is that Rachel?
That's Rachel.
Rachel Garrett, I lovely Rachel, yes.
And so she does one Tuesday morning, and then Estelle Mitchell, who you also know, does the following one. So they take it in turns on a Tuesday morning, but they're both physiotherapists. So if people have movement problems or breathing problems, they can also see them about that separately.
I did one of Rachel's breathing courses, and undeniably, wow, it makes a difference just to understand some basics.
Yeah.
Really a big difference. And as we get older, obviously, more important to be able to control and understand our breathing.
Absolutely.
And Estelle also, an excellent specialist.
And then on a Thursday morning, we have a special session from 12 until 2 for people to come along if they've got problems with their smartphones, their laptops, whatever, any technical issues.
Well, that's good.
So if you happen to have deleted all your emails by accident, Simon, who is the lead for that morning, will help you find them and put them back.
Well, that is a very useful thing. I always end up calling my kids for one thing or another. It's like, what did I do?
Yeah.
What did I touch?
Where's it all gone?
Yes.
I have that with my husband with the television as well. That's another story. But then, of course, we have 4 different coffee mornings every month in different places on different days. So it makes it, we hope, easier for people in the local community to get to their local coffee morning. And most of them now have 10, 12 or more people going.
I know the Mondays you do one at Sundays in
Yes.
San Pedro, because I go there to watch Good Morning Spain on a Monday, and then all the age-concerned people come in at 11.
That's
So
right. And it's a great way to meet people and make new friends, you know. It's very informal. You never know who quite is going to turn up. But we have a WhatsApp group for each different coffee morning. So that helps, because if you were doing something every week, it would be different. But we don't have enough volunteers to do that. So the hosts do it once a month. And then it's very easy to forget which week it is that your coffee morning is. So it's all announced now to the people that come regularly. Don't forget, on Wednesday, this will be our week for the coffee morning. And it really is lovely to see people make different connections. One of our coffee mornings got together and came as a whole group to one of our lunches, because we also do lunches where people can spend even more time together and chat over food, and you know, we try to keep the prices very reasonable, but we do other things. And we've just recently had a lunch at G Wine with a jewellery party and
one of my favourite places.
Fashion show. Yes, so you know, those things are all very interesting, especially when people are living on their own, and perhaps they've been left quite recently on their own, and they need to get out and make new friends and do new things. So and it's important for the single ladies, I think, more than anything, that they can go out to a place that is safe. You know, I mean, even I would be a bit reluctant to go and have lunch on my own somewhere where nobody knew me. But if you're going as part of a group where you know that it's going to be all taken care of, and you know what you're going to pay in advance, and you know your name's taken, it's
yeah, you feel safer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, without a doubt. You mentioned before that you didn't have enough volunteers for certain things. Are you looking for volunteers? How can people help, Carol?
Well, we're always looking for volunteers, and it doesn't matter what skills they have, you know. Like I say, Simon helps people with technology. We have another lady who's relatively recently joined us, who makes us graphic posters and things now. You know, any kind of skills, but of course we also go to residential homes. The one in Puerto Banus, which is au pair, and also the one off the Ronda Road,
the CK La Quinta.
They have a Tuesday afternoon there with live music almost every week, and that's wonderful. Those people who can, you know, actually get up and dance. Some people need a little bit of a hand to steady them. And other people just sort of sway to the music and do the actions of the songs that they remember. it's really very uplifting to go and see it.
It is having that stimulation. Before we were chatting with Paula Chinchilla, who does palliative care and does home visits, home help, which is very important. But having that, keeping your spirits up is so important. So important.
We really understood how important it was during the pandemic, because so many people were shut in home alone. At least if you're part of a couple, you've got someone to talk to. You know, I'm not very good at doing nothing. But
surprise. You never stop.
I had my husband there to have lunch and dinner with and talk to. I think it must have been awful for those people who were shut in alone at home. We had huge help from the local restaurants in Marbella, as you know.
Yes.
Who cooked food and...
Actually, I nearly got a tear to my eye thinking of the people who really, really went above and beyond at those times.
Yes.
The Cara Carradas, all really people who went out and above to help everybody.
And it was very important because necessarily quite a lot of our volunteers are retired people over a certain age. And because of the nature of the pandemic, the police didn't want anybody going out over 60, visiting different people in case we were going to become seriously ill. So to have all these people who suddenly were cooking meals for people that couldn't go out, and as you know, we had people who were actually delivering them to individual houses, was just marvellous, absolutely marvellous.
It was marvellous. It's curious actually, because mentioning that, I realised that one of the problems that arose after COVID, or one of the bittersweet, I think people began to realise how much our retired community actually contributed to the community after COVID, because then the old people went back to be volunteers at the charity shops, for example.
Yes.
And suddenly the charity shops found themselves completely volunteerless because 90% of their volunteers were from people who were retired.
That's right. They do, and people forget, you know, we do home visiting as well. Sometimes we take people out shopping or to the doctors, or we have a couple of volunteers who will take them to the hospital and can translate. But it's a marvellous thing when you get to know an older person. Necessarily, I think, because we're in Marbella and all these people have come from elsewhere, the lives that they've led are really interesting. When you get to know people and they talk about themselves and what they've done before, I think it surprises a lot of people who just tend to think, oh, you know, that's somebody old. And they haven't always been old, you know, they've had the sort of lives that you and I have, and more. So it's a lesson to us all, I think. You know, just because there's a number that says that you're retired doesn't mean that you have nothing left to give. Quite the opposite.
Is there any collaboration or connection with Age Concern and the schools? Because I know as a child, I think when I was 14, we started visiting the age homes. And at first it's challenging, and there was one lady in particular that was my lady, and she'd always talk to me through a hole in her apron. So everything she would say, she'd look at, and obviously as a 14-year-old, this was quite shocking, yes. But at the same time, it gets you into being with older people and realising, and I learned so many things, even though she spoke through that hole in her pinny. What a fascinating woman.
Yes.
I mean, really. And I always think it would be nice to go to CK or Orpea and actually interview all the different people and get their stories written down, because Marbella is full of fascinating people, and they were fascinating here in the 80s, 90s, 2000s.
Yes. But one of the people that I was home visiting in the early days when I joined Age Concern was 98 when I first met him. His name was John Wright, and he'd been a designer for Liberties of London.
Oh, wow. And
produced fantastic designs, gone all around the world displaying his designs for them, including Japan, had wonderful slides and things of the designs that he had produced. And, you know, you don't know these things about people. He spent the Second World War in India. I mean, I didn't even know we were in India in the Second World War. Do you know what I mean? It's fascinating. But sometimes, you know, these people, not everybody that comes to Marbella is wealthy. And sometimes we have people here living on an old age pension British old age pension, which is not nearly as good as the Spanish old age pensions, I have to say. And they can really struggle if there's something extra. You know, mostly older people are very good at budgeting. They've had to be. And nonetheless, if you're living on a really limited income, if you suddenly have to buy a new passport,
right,
or you have an unexpectedly high electricity bill, something like that, then they can struggle for the extraordinary expenses that crop up in life, you know. So we're about to have a dinner dance, I'm delighted to say.
Very exciting, at the Guadalmina Golf Club, right?
Fantastic. It's the first really big event that we've had since the pandemic. A lot of people, I think, were very reluctant to be all together in a room for some while afterwards. And we have Mr. Math, who is singing for
Motown.
us. Motown.
Love
and
Motown,
soul,
yes.
And of course he comes from a gospel base, so we might even get some gospel tunes, you never know.
Well, I have to say, when I did my 100th programme celebration of Marbella Now, I invited Mr. Math was performing, because I have to say that's one of my favourite genres. It's just such an easy listening. It really just like gets in you. You just want to dance.
Yeah.
You just want to dance.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have a great auction coming up. We've got all things donated. We've got a limited edition gentleman's Italian designer watch, and we've got a painting very kindly donated by Paul Arts.
Oh yes, he's very good.
And I met Paul through you when you were doing this programme in Paloma Blanca.
Exactly.
And we sat together waiting, having breakfast, while you were interviewing other people. So, and after all this time, he still remembers that meeting. And so he's very kindly offered to donate one of his paintings for us.
I'm delighted. Hashtag better together, but that is how it works. And I love doing my networking breakfast with the show, precisely for that reason. So Lily, with the Rescuing Our Animals, could speak to people to help get events doing for that. It's the way of, and the objective of this programme. This is what we're doing. How can you get involved, either to help, or how can we help you? Yes. And I think that, Carol, what you guys have achieved with Age Concern Marbella San Pedro is admirable. And I'm delighted that you're doing so well at your job. So Tom can't be upset that I'm like, Carol.
Well, one of the objects of the dinner dance, we're expanding into something a little different. But as I say, we know people who really have hardship. And so we're starting a hardship fund. This is not a handout, this is sort of a hand up for those occasions when people are really stuck for how they're going to manage an extraordinary expense. And obviously it has to be rigorously controlled, looked into by the welfare committee and so on. But we want to help people to cover those eventualities.
I'm delighted. That's a fabulous initiative. In fact, Paula was saying exactly the same thing, that they wanted that, because when they see people who don't have the funds, like this person she was visiting last week, and this woman's dying, she's got days left to live, the family doesn't have the resources, but she's doing it anyway, because she said, I can't just watch this person, you know, the husband can't do it, the kids aren't doing it, and this woman's not going to die in degradation. It's a big thing, keeping that dignity.
Yeah.
Yes.
So one small way that we've done that in the past, we have 3 people who have specific health problems and are housebound for one reason or another. One of them only has one leg, for instance, and it's very difficult for them to get to the doctor. So we pay their individual subscription for helicopteros sanitarios, so that if they have a fall or if they have any kind of health problem at home, they can just call and the doctor will come to them.
Fabulous. Carol, thank you ever so much for the update. Congratulations on the gala. Are there any spaces left?
There are some, but they're selling very quickly. We've got over 60 people booked already.
Wonderful. What date is it?
And there's a maximum of 100. And it's the 17th of May, which is a Friday night.
Perfect. Friday night, not at the movies, at the Guadalmina Golf Club for the Age Concern Gala. Yeah. Get your tickets now, or you will be disappointed. Particularly, as you say, got great entertainment, Mr. Mapp, and also the raffle with the opportunity of getting great prizes.
And the auction with some really nice big ticket items. There's some jewellery for the ladies as well, vintage Scandinavian jewellery.
Oh, it's going to be a great evening.
It will.
Very, very happy for you and very delighted that everything you do for our community really is very appreciated.
Thank you very much. It's not all about me, you know. There's lots of people doing the actual work.
Yeah, well, you, the general you, all of you, you're doing a great job. Thank you, Carol.
Hey, hey.
Zero Heroes, welcome to Urban Chive.
Zero Heroes, welcome to Gusto e Fantasía.
I am really delighted to welcome back the lovely Alex from Nicole to the programme. It was a year ago, just over a year ago, that Nicole arrived in Spain, and Alex came to the programme, and one of the partners, Darren, came to the programme, and a year's gone by.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's gone so quickly, hasn't it? We had our official launch back in March. It's actually just over a year now. And time has flown. It really, really has flown, and we're doing really well. So we're just all very proud about, you know, how well it's gone. Because Darren, the managing director of Nicole Solicitors, he started London. So we have Bishop Stortford office, we have London office. He started London 10 years ago, and it took a lot longer to get its feet off the ground. Whereas Estepona has just taken off. I mean, within a year, we're already doing really, really well. So,
well, I'm delighted for you because you've got yourself a nice job. You speak Spanish, you have the abilities. So for Nicole's opening here has been, I think, very nice for you. And as they were voted by the Sunday Times as one of the best companies to work for, I think that's very nice, and you've been able to actually appreciate that yourself.
Yes, and you know what? Being British, I know what it's like to work for a UK firm. So having that here in Estepona, I honestly feel honoured, because I just didn't think I would ever get that. And there's nothing quite like working for a British firm, and I don't know, just all the little things, the employee value, you know, the benefits, the company, the people, you know, everything. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with Spanish firms. I've also worked for them, but I like the structure, the professional structure. And so I do feel very at home. And obviously, like you said, we were placed in the top 100 Sunday Times best places to work. And I think we're there yearly. It's one of, I think Nicole's it's a real standout law firm.
I think it's lovely. I'm laughing to myself because you said you like the structure.
I'm quite
Spain has to be very difficult, challenging for people who like structure, because they don't understand that this is a structure, it's just a different structure.
Well, I have to admit, I haven't worked for a large Spanish firm. So, I mean, Nicole's is medium to large, I would say, or small to medium. But in Spain, I've only worked for family-owned firms. So it's just completely and utterly different and lacks structure entirely. But I can't say that that's for every Spanish company.
Just your experience.
Just my experience.
But you have a Spanish husband.
I do,
So you should be well used to the Spanishness. What area of Spain is he from?
He's from Cádiz, so he's Gaditano. And he's just happy-go-lucky, you know, the stereotypical Cádiz person.
So how do you deal with that? Because they say opposites attract. But is it nice? Is it like it helps you relax more because he's not as structured as you are?
Yeah, probably. We are definitely opposites, but at the same time, we're very, very similar. Yeah, no, for instance, when we went travelling, he's He just loves to do he loves adventure, whereas I like a plan. He takes me completely out of my comfort zone, but then, you know, I pull him back in. Yeah, no, we work very well. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm imagining it works nicely. You give him a little bit of structure and he destructures maybe something that's too organised.
Yes, exactly. And you know what, that's something which at the moment with Nicole Spain, you can see is really happening because we're growing. And you know, we've set up the company, set up the firm, done the office. We've had these small projects. I've been really organised, really structured, and now I've got to realise, right? Okay, this is becoming a bigger thing. I need to become less structured, less in my box. And how can we develop new areas? How can we find new clients? And you know, it's really exciting at the moment. Really, really exciting.
I thought it was also exciting as to mark the year's anniversary. You guys a bunch of people came over from the UK, and you did a walk up La Concha to where the firemen put the bench
for Piel de
Mariposa for the Butterfly Children charity.
That was so. The UK side of things, they do a lot for charity. We do an absolute enormous amount for charity, and they always do an endurance walk every year. And obviously, like you said, to mark the 1 year anniversary, we thought it would be a really great idea to bring everyone out to Spain. And we chose people, well, actually, I think people opted to do it, but people who'd never been here before. So there was a lot of people, you know, who not only were excited to do the walk, but excited to come to Estepona to see our office. And those employees, it just gives you real motivation. You know, the company paid for accommodation and food. They did have to pay for their flights, but it was just, you know, it was just such a joyful weekend. And then we had this enormous challenge walking up La Concha, which I know for some people it's not necessarily that hard. I think you can do it in about 5 hours.
No, it's not that hard. It takes only 5 hours.
Yeah, it only takes 5 hours.
And what about coming back down again?
No. Well, that's included. So it's 2.5 hours up, 2.5 hours down. We took about 7.5 hours, but you know what? We were a group of 30 from all different levels, but it was just fantastic.
Was it really challenging?
A group. Yes.
Is it scary?
It's not for the faint-hearted at all.
But you didn't fear for your life at any time? I mean, it's not like...
You can fear. I didn't, personally. But yes, I mean, I think there were people who had vertigo. There were some people who were really quite panicking because you look down and you just see a cliff. It is quite scary. It is scary.
You are climbing a mountain.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is a mountain.
It is scary.
Which is why it doesn't appeal to me at all.
I loved it. I really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it.
Well, Alex, we've spoken about lots of fun things, but let's get down to business. Yes. What specifically does Nicole's law firm, what aspects of the law do you handle?
In Estepona, in Spain. So we mainly specialise in conveyancing, inheritance and estate planning, visas, and we do non-residence tax. We don't actually give much advice with regards to la renta de declaración, so the residence tax. We focus mainly on non-residence tax. And what else? We work on some family matters, but really we do tend to outsource them because we don't have anyone in-house who's a family lawyer.
But in the UK, obviously you cover
every
single aspect of the law there is.
Exactly, apart from criminal. We do everything apart from criminal over in the UK.
Because you're such nice people, you don't want to have to defend those criminals. I like the philosophy, I could see that.
I'm not sure why, actually.
Maybe it is just as simple as that.
Oh, well, I think it's a different kettle of fish, isn't it, really? I don't know if we do private and corporate services over in the UK. Over here in Spain, it's just private. I'm not sure about the criminal side of things. No.
But it's nice. I mean, when you're opening up a new thing, specialising is important.
Yes.
Choosing an angle.
Exactly.
So the fact that you're basically real estate lawyers with that benefit of having the UK office, because so many of the procedures are basically half and half. They need to be done there, or they need to be done before you come over.
Well, exactly. We tend to try and attract our clients before they've come over because there are several elements that they need to do. Not only when they're looking to purchase a property, they might look at wanting to sell their assets in the UK first, so we could put them in touch with our residential property team over there in the UK. They may want to fix their UK will, we can put them in touch with our probate team in the UK. Then when they come over here, we can help them with their property purchase, we can help them with writing their Spanish will, we can help them getting a visa if they are non-EU citizens, we can help them then with their non-residence tax if they want to stay a UK resident and they've got that property as a second home. Or we can put them in touch with somebody with an accountant to do their annual declaration. So, you know, we're a one-stop shop. We want to offer the full package. And yeah, no, I think we do a really, really good job in that.
And I love the way that a lot of the different lawyers and partners from the UK, there's a lot of travelling backwards and forwards.
Yes.
So it's not like you've left out here in a satellite office in the sticks. It's very much incorporated into the general company.
Yeah, I think we have at least every week we have someone over from the UK. We also go back to the UK, so one of my colleagues, Flor, who's our Spanish lawyer here.
Hi Flor, miss you!
She's just been in the UK for a Spanish Chamber of Commerce event. I will be going back over next week because we're going to the Place in the Sun property fair. So yeah, there's lots of flying around, and that's really nice actually. I like that.
Very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Do you think there's going to be much issue with losing the golden visa, which is now on the cards, that is going to disappear? Do many people actually take that option?
Do you know what? I read in the paper that over the last 3 years, only 185 of the golden visa applicants were British. So really not that many. It will be a problem in the sense we might lose clients from it, but at the same time, it's a solution. Well, it's exciting because we can go out and, well, we don't know what's going to be happening yet. We've been told that it could be scrapped. We don't know it's going to be. We don't know if it is when. We don't know anything. But, you know, if they come out and they say, right, we're scrapping this in 6 months' time, that's an opportunity to go out to all of our clients and say, look, guys, you were on the fence about getting the golden visa. Should we get that? Should we get it done? Should we get it sorted?
Yes, if you were thinking about it,
Now's
at the
your
moment
time.
it exists, at the moment. So if you are thinking about that, that's the one to go for.
Yeah.
And there are lots of other options. Contact Nicole's lawyers. They will tell you all the options if you want to come and live in Spain, because really it is just a great place to live. Alex, thank you so much.
No problem at all. Thanks
really
for having
lovely
me.
to see you again.
And you.
And hello to everyone at Nicole's UK and Spain. That's it for this week. Thank you ever so much for joining us on the programme. If you've got anything to share with our community, please do drop me a line and let me know. You'll be very welcome, as long as it's appropriate. Then you'll be very, very welcome to come and talk to our community and share your news. You can watch the recordings of the programme from rtvmarbella.tv, and then you can go to Marbella Now. You can watch it on RTV Marbella. And if you go to my website, nicoleking.es, you can get links to the programme, also to my Marbella Moments column in the Euro Weekly News, and our Zero Hero website with an ever-increasing list of Zero Hero venues. Includes the Obal Urban Hotel. We had Cristobal with us today, but so many others. The Casino, the Hard Rock Hotel, Urban Chai, Urban, the list goes on. Check it out. Why pay if you don't have to? Take care of yourselves. Be nice to each other, please, if you can. And I'll see you again next week for more of what's going on in Marbella right now. Bye.
You feel it's gonna